Chadian leader Idris Deby has slammed recent protests experienced in the country, terming them insurrection with foreign support. The protests were violently repressed and resulted in at least 50 deaths. Deby denounced the demos and further warned the opposition against insurrecting an insurgency. These were not simple demonstrations that were brought under control, but a real, carefully orchestrated insurgency to create chaos in the country. External actors have provided arms and money to opportunistic Chadians who have not hesitated for a moment to destroy our country to satisfy their personal interest and foreign agendas. Even today, Chadian actors have sought the support of foreign powers to pressure and blackmail me so that they can accede to power. Chad's opposition had called for peaceful protests on Thursday to mark the date when the military had promised to hand over power in the unstable Sahel country. On the other hand, Deby called for national unity for the sake of peace in the entire nation. I will not accept that the nation be divided, the country fragmented, and our unity mortgaged. I will use all legal means at my disposal to prevent these projects that are harmful to our country. The 38-year-old five-star General Muhammad Idris Deby has been in power since his iron-fisted father was killed in an operation against rebels in April 2021.
Dozens of journalists rallied on Monday in Pakistan's capital Islamabad over the killing of a senior Pakistani journalist by police in Kenya. Pakistani journalist Arshad Sharif died on Sunday evening after the car he was in sped up instead of halting at a roadblock near the capital, Nairobi.
The journalist community in Pakistan is demanding an immediate inquiry about the target killing of Arshad Sharif in Kenya. Many political parties are also supporting this demand. We want that the government of Pakistan must form a judicial commission to investigate the murder.
Sharif left Pakistan in July to avoid arrest, following a citizen's complaint against him on allegations of maligning the country's national institutions, a reference to the military. Health authorities in Uganda announced that at least 15 people had contracted the deadly Ebola virus in the capital, Kampala. Kampala becomes the 6th district to confirm the presence of the virus after the outbreak was first identified in the district of Mubende. Many feared the consequences of another lockdown.
It's really bad for business because we have just encountered a lockdown for the COVID virus. So coming out of that economically, it's been a very big challenge for us. So again, if they put us in a lockdown, another lockdown because of Ebola, it will be a big challenge for us to step up again.
After having endured lockdowns during the COVID-19 pandemic, many who work in the informal sector cannot afford to stay home. The news is very scary, but like the government says, I think we all should follow the standard operating procedures so that we prevent the spread of this Ebola virus. What is happening now is people are dying, doctors are dying, so we all should be very vigilant and follow the set guidelines as stated by the government. Uganda has in the past been praised for its handling of epidemics and pandemics. The strict measures imposed during the COVID-19 pandemic prevented a high death rate. The authorities are confident in that they can manage the current Ebola outbreak.
With the experience we've had as Uganda in managing Ebola outbreaks, we have put on all that it takes, including restricted movements in the epicenter, to ensure that this current outbreak is controlled. The cases we are seeing, for instance, here in Kampala, are listed contacts to cases confirmed in Kasanda and Mubende. So that shows that we are on top of this game.
A top World Health Organization official in Africa said last week that the outbreak was rapidly evolving. There is no proven vaccine for the Sudan strain of Ebola that's circulating in Uganda. The Dakar International Forum on Peace and Security in Africa opened its doors on Monday in the Senegalese capital. For 2 days, delegates and participants in the conference will focus on the continent's security challenges. The event is attended by ministers, the military and representatives of international organizations. Africa must make an effort on its own security. There must be African solidarity first, before calling for foreign solidarity. Then we have to focus on the training of people, Africa's primary capital. We must take care of the youth. Senegalese President Macky Sall, current chairperson of the African Union, spoke at the opening ceremony of the event, which he hopes will support Africa's bid for a permanent seat on the G20 and the UN Security Council. For us, it is important that Africa positions itself, first of all, in terms of multilateralism. Africa needs to be like a giant and to be considered at the table of the Security Council and to have the right of veto, if necessary. For 2 days, participants will attend workshops to highlight how foreign shocks from outside of the continent impact on the security situation of African countries. The aim of these meetings is to seek solutions that will enable the continent to no longer rely on external support in terms of armed forces or food aid, for example, and to assert its sovereignty.
Pascal Maï, Kenya, pour Africa News à Dakar.
Winning the fight against stigma surrounding scars, one fashion show at a time. Ugandan fashion store Khatz Moniq Apparel organized a charity show called My Scars Are Beautiful on Scar Appreciation Day. The event, held in Kampala Saturday, also celebrated different body shapes and rare conditions and diseases, a source of pride for Monica Katoko, the creative director of the brand, who herself underwent 2 life-saving surgeries, leaving her with scars.
This event here is it's a show with a cause, a noble cause. We want to encourage the plus-size women out there to feel beautiful just the way they are. The same goes to people with scars. I hated myself before because of the scars, but the moment I accepted that, yes, this is something I cannot change about myself, that acceptance was healing to me.
For the first edition of the event, male and female models took part in a one-day audition before they were shortlisted to parade on the catwalk. If scars remained frowned upon in different parts of the world, they are in fact proof of life. Indeed, most injuries, except for minor wounds that heal quickly, result in scarring. Therefore, each scar has a story.
I got my scars in 2011. It was a fire accident. The house at home caught fire from a candle, and I was in there sleeping. I got burnt. I spent a few months at the hospital, and that's how I got the scars. This event means so much to me, with the theme saying "My scars are beautiful." Yeah, it brings out what we've always wanted to hear, like, having scars doesn't make you ugly. Yeah, you're beautiful, but in a different way.
The event, held at the Mestil Hotel in the Ugandan capital, backed a cause. The proceeds from the charity fashion show will go towards an organization that is being set up to support individuals with scars, according to local media. The contemporary ethical brand plans to continue to celebrate the diversity of beauty.